Welcome back to Parking Lot Takes. That's Brandon. I'm Christian.
Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3 might be over, but the conversation's just starting.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. We just saw it.
Yep, we're fresh out of our screening. Hayden Christensen was not there.
But Ewan McGregor was not there either.
But Sam Jackson did not walk out.
Nope, he did not. We did get a little special Hayden Christensen message.
Everybody
before
got
the movie,
that.
I know.
So unspecial.
It was very unspecial. Just because I've been seeing him, or because you were saying, like, did you know he came out at, like, I was like, gosh. And then when that popped up, I was like, that sucks. I feel so unspecial.
I want to be graced by that guy's presence.
I think you want to be graced by his presence for many reasons.
Yeah, sure. But I'm also like, I hate all, I talked about this last episode, but I just hate all the hate he gets.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
okay, people are coming back around on it, though.
They are, but it's the only character that excuses, like, the prequel dialogue.
Yes, yeah.
But...
yeah,
whatever.
With, like, Ahsoka and a lot of the love for, like, the Clone Wars stuff, like, I am glad to see him get some kind of love again.
I was thinking about this. I don't want to contradict myself on another point, but Clone Wars does make him too cool.
Yeah, he's stoic and very cool.
Then he's in this. He's like kind of how he needs to be in Revenge of the Sith.
He feels like a master. I mean, he is a master. Well, as far as like taking Ahsoka as an apprentice, but like he feels very much like a master worthy of the Jedi Council in the Clone Wars. And in this, he still feels very like young and
very young,
impressionable, easily moved.
Yes, not as like solid as he is in the Clone Wars.
But in Clone Wars, like, he goes through a lot, and he's very mature.
Right, but they make him too cool.
Yeah,
like, because in this, he's very angsty, very
itching to get on the council.
Yeah, very,
he's just kind of ticked.
Okay, well, let's just talk about so we've seen the movie.
Yeah,
do you have a ranking for this movie?
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that before we went and saw it. You mean how does it fall?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's. This is so tricky. I think it's New Hope at number 1, Empire at number 2. Is this number 3? I think.
What are we talking about? In what projects?
Yes, I think Revenge of the Sith might be at 3.
No.
Then Return.
No.
Then.
Return maybe.
Are you talking about all projects? I'm just movies.
Okay.
Let me make that distinction because you're like shaking your head. I'm like, wait, what? Just movies. Let me just say just movies. And then I think this is 3. Then it's Return, and I could probably put Return there. Then maybe Rogue One. Then
you think Return is better than Rogue One?
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Maybe not, but I might just hold it higher because of how much I love it as far as like just the nostalgia.
Sure.
I would probably give it to Rogue One.
Okay.
If somebody were to give me an argument for why, I could probably argue why Rogue One's better. Well, I'll put it that way.
All right.
But I think I enjoy Return of the Jedi.
Solo? I like Solo a lot.
I'm meh on Solo. I think it has some fun moments, but I'm pretty meh on it. You think Solo's like...
No, I'm just messing.
Okay. I was about to be like...
I do like Solo, though.
I don't think it's worth, or I don't think it deserves all the hate that it gets. Some people really don't like it. I think it's a fun time, but I don't think I would put it in, like, my top 5.
Yeah.
And I would probably put The Force Awakens higher than you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give that to you. I just don't like, at the end of the day, I was fine with it being a rehash of New Hope for Force Awakens because we were going somewhere. Turns out we're going nowhere, so therefore I don't like that it's a rehash of New Hope.
Yeah, and I just compartmentalize it.
Yeah.
I just pretend like the other two didn't happen.
That's annoying.
And it's so great. If you watch it with that context, like I did the first time, it's setting up so much incredible stuff. It feels like Star Wars is back.
That's literally my problem.
I know.
That's literally the problem.
Leave
with
it there.
Movie.
Just leave it there.
It sets up so much. That's what it is. That's how it exists currently. What do you mean?
It's. I don't know, man. It's just like it's the experience. It's just.
What experience?
You're right. I mean, I can't really argue against it.
I'm giving you. It was electric when
it really
it came out.
And I can't argue the fact that, like, yeah, it sets so much up and doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I give you. I like Revenge for movies. Revenge of the Sith at 3. I think.
I think that's where I would put it.
Yeah.
Where do you think you'd put it at 3? Give me yours.
Movies?
Movie, just movies.
It's tough. We've been having this compositional like argument.
We've been talking about it a lot. Yeah.
Things like I recognize compositionally Andor as a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. The same way I recognize compositionally Last Jedi is a very good movie. Mm-hmm. I just don't really relate to either of those as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Which is not for lack of trying. Goodness. I've seen Andor season 1 twice and I was like, yeah, it's fun. So
that hurts my soul.
Revenge of the Sith is just, it's the special place in your heart, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it's such a
but I do think
pivotal moment.
Right. But I do think franchise. Rogue One and Solo are better compositional, and Last Jedi, Force Awakens are all better compositionally, better projects than Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Revenge of the Sith is a little choppy.
Yeah.
It's a little messy. It's a little paced
short.
Weird. It's short. Compared to even Solo.
Yeah.
I may not like Solo as much, but yeah, I'd probably have to say Solo's a little bit more cohesive as a movie.
But
like an overall story.
I definitely like Revenge of the Sith more.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'd have it at 3.
Way higher highs than either of those.
Yes, absolutely.
Either of all of those projects.
And I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, there's too many good moments in Revenge of the Sith for me to put it over Solo.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So it would be at 3. I meant like a out of 10 when I said rank it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was thinking
I wanted to do that anyway. So
yeah. The reason I was thinking about that is because going into this, I was like, where does Revenge of the Sith fall? Is it going to change at all? I mean, I've seen this movie 100 times. I didn't think it was going to change, but ranking it, that's tricky. Probably like. I would probably give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's good.
I think if I was gonna really dial it in, I'd probably do like 7.5 out of 10. But I think I would give it the 8.
Yeah,
I'd give it the 8 just because of what it means for the overall Star Wars franchise, the Skywalker saga, and the highs are so high that I would say it's worth the 8. The 2 points I don't give it are just the very noticeable pacing. Some of it's a little choppy. Like, they move between scenes very quickly. And sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it's not. And so, yeah, compositionally, it's a little messy at times. And that's why I'd probably give it 8 out of 10.
I was saying.
And 8 is great.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a high score.
Yeah. I said it like a 7, but I said it as a 7 as a whole.
Yeah.
I would give the first, basically everything up until Anakin's, Anakin becoming Darth Vader. Well, never mind. I'll have to change it because of this reasoning. I'll go 8 out of 10 as well. Everything up until that point's like a 7, maybe 6.5. But then I think everything past Anakin turning to the dark side, Rise, Lord Vader, everything after that's perfect movie, 10 out of 10. When watching it first time in years, I'm like, yeah, I see the dialogue issues. I'm seeing the pacing issues. I'm definitely feeling the acting a little bit and the line delivery on not just Hayden Christensen, but
did you notice Natalie Portman at all?
Yes.
So that's what I noticed a lot this time was I feel like she was struggling to like deliver those lines.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel as emotional as I remembered it.
Yeah.
That was the one I noticed this time.
That even some of Sam Jackson's delivery, like it's very wooden.
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yeah,
I'll give it to you. It's so cool. So he has so many good lines that I'm like,
but I'm thinking of stay here. Don't move.
Yeah.
Wait till us to come back. Like it's very this is exact. It's obvious George Lucas has a very clear, this is how I would take it. Mm-hmm. It is obvious by the dialogue, George Lucas had a very clear vision and let nobody riff. He let nobody improv anything. It's very evident that is like line for line what was on the script. And no one got a chance to play with their dialogue to make it more natural, which is what you would need. Yeah. It's very evident. They're like, no, I want you to read these lines as they're written so they don't come across as like as conversational as they could. Like, I believe Sam Jackson, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman have all the ability and talent in the world to make all of that dialogue, like, I'm saying the dialogue's meh. I'm not gonna say it's terrible.
No.
But to make it like way better than it is.
Yeah.
They all have that ability. It's very evident that it was, to me, it was very directed. Like, no, you need to read it like this. Like, just the dialogue between Anakin and Mace. If you do this, you will have gained my trust. Well,
you will have gained my
that's
trust.
a line that he says to Obi-Wan, not Anakin. So Anakin, this is the things like Anakin's the first time he's learning that he doesn't have Mace Windu's trust.
Yes, yeah.
So things like that.
It's almost like George was like, play stoic,
exactly.
and Sam was like, let me kind of. Like, no,
right.
Just Mace Windu's stoic, play stoic. And he's like, okay,
and that's fine. I mean, but like everyone's line delivery, I just feel like I'm not saying. I'm saying they feel wooden as a result of I just truly believe George Lucas was like, read it exactly how I've written it and don't change a thing. A lot of Hayden and Natalie Portman's lines were, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I will not betray the Republic. Fine.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just obvious that those actors didn't get to play with that dialogue to make it more conversational, to make it flow a little bit better. As a result, it feels a little choppy. I hate to complain about this movie. I truly do. I really like it. So I hate to be
I know what you mean.
it.
The thing that I think I noticed most about the dialogue in this movie is I think everyone feels a bit wooden except Ewan McGregor.
Agreed.
I noticed he is carrying this movie
out his ears, bro.
He is carrying these scenes with him and Anakin. He's carrying the scene in Mustafar. Like, his dialogue feels natural. I don't know if he just somehow added it in there. I don't know if George gave him more freedom, but I was just like, him opposite of a lot of these people, he shows his acting ability.
Absolutely. Hayden's acting across Ewan's also very, very good as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So
their moments, their chemistry, dialogue, I think in this movie is the best.
Yeah, all of it's great. None of it's bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that had me in a little bit like, how come I've never noticed this when I've watched this movie? Is this when they're running and the ray shields go up and he's like, and Obi-Wan's like, how did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Yeah. It feels a little.
I don't know what that even means. Yeah. What do you mean? Like, you should have sensed that was gonna. What do you mean? How did this happen? You were running down this hallway. Like,
it activated.
Okay, cool, man.
I know what he's trying to say.
I know what they're getting across. I just don't think that's just.
It felt weird. He kind of stops and just turns, and he's like,
"There's like
we're better than this."
So many better ways to convey that emotion. Like. Yeah. We need to stop. We need to think. We're rushing. To convey that to me that like they're being hasty or whatever. Yes, yeah. But like for Annie to be like, I say patience. Is that up? Like, you're not going anywhere. What do you mean patience? What do you mean? I say patience. Like, what are you guys gonna do? Like,
try to stick your lightsaber through it.
You don't have any other options.
Yeah.
But Hayden. He's like, or Hayden, you have your day with the politician. Someone has to report to the council. He's like, I've saved your skin for the 10th time. Yeah. 9, that business doesn't count. Like, all of that's great. Excellent and very, very good.
Yeah.
But I would say pretty much everything. I was feeling like, I'm feeling it. This is the first time in my life I'm really feeling this. Yeah. The dialogue and the choppiness and the acting and the line delivery.
Yeah.
And then after he becomes, Rise Lord Vader, I think it's perfect. Yeah. I think all of the line delivery and all the dialogue works. So it's almost like George Lucas knew he wanted to get here.
Yes.
So he tried to find a way to get there. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's awesome, though. I mean...
there's great moments throughout it. Like, even the dialogue, I was thinking with... Chancellor Palpatine, like, he has some really good moments, I think, in his kind of line delivery. Like, he does a good job. Some of them towards the end feel a little weird. They just take some interesting choices. But, like, when he's talking through the, Darth Plagueis the Wise, have you heard the tale? Like, all of that is really good. He's so subtle and very, like, sinister, but he does it in a really good way. And I kind of noticed that this go round. And then some of the choices toward the end, I'm like, this is very different. But Anakin felt weird in that scene, though.
Yeah.
Like, his responses felt like I was talking to, like, if you're talking to, like a 13-year-old who didn't really know how to hold a conversation. I was just kind of like, I feel like you could have done better with that.
You know, and I've never thought about this before, but I was watching this and I just thought, wow, George Lucas nerfs Padme in this so much that he makes her
compared to the first two.
Yeah, he makes her not give a crap about things I absolutely believe she would care about.
Yeah.
I absolutely feel like if Anakin sat there and been like, you know, I don't trust the Jedi Council, or I'm not the Jedi I should be, like, she would be like way more active in way, like, just because of all her relationships and her character. They really bog down her character.
Think about
for
two.
the sake for this. I know, for the sake of the story.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting in the Senate and she's like, no, this is how it all ends.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you've had I just feel like
she basically just stays in their apartment the whole time.
I know,
until
that's
Mustafar.
so lame.
And like thinking back to 2, like they pit her such a like strong like political figure, but like also like all the stuff in the arena, like she holds her own, like she's, you know,
she's awesome.
She's great, and she like kicks butt. And then in this one she's just a housewife.
So what the heck?
So it is a little interesting how they kind of did. I kind of noticed that a couple times. I was like, she hasn't left this apartment this entire movie.
That's so unfortunate. I don't know why she wasn't more involved. Like, she totally, had she been more involved in vocal, could have helped Anakin not turn to the dark side.
Yeah.
Like,
just kind of not let him, but didn't really inquire much. Like, she didn't ask a lot of questions.
No,
she was like,
things I think she would care about.
What are you doing?
Like, I will not betray the Republic. Like, she has the cool
what do you
line
mean betray the
like,
Republic? Like,
yeah, whatever. I mean, I just don't, like, she's as involved as she is, and I understand it's her husband. I understand
she is
this.
Pregnant, so.
But he has a very big history of being very brash and arrogant and
doing
prideful
some heinous things.
and being out of pocket. Like, you would think if he's like the Jedi attacked and tried to assassinate the Chancellor, like, all time Anakin's there. Okay, let's put it like this. They should have absolutely leaned into the dichotomy between Padme disagreeing with Palpatine and Palpatine pitting Anakin against Padme. Mm-hmm. Should have been in this movie to help the events that happen.
Yeah,
where it becomes I'm not going to listen to you and I'm just going to save you. Because if I save you, this will all be okay.
Yeah.
But her really disagree that the chance, like, she does. I understand there's that line, but they have that conversation, but it's like over and done, and then she never questions anything the rest of the time till Obi-Wan shows up.
Yes.
So I really feel like that should have been consistent tension for Anakin to not be getting help he needed from the council, to only be hearing this one thing from Palpatine that's really conflicted to his morals, and then he can't even go to Padme about it because Padme, like, you know what I mean? She supports the Jedi Council, and Palpatine's flipped him. Mm-hmm. And so I think, like, having almost him only be able to turn to it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It nerfs her character.
Palpatine's the only one who will hear him.
Right. Strong and powerful and get crap done character. And then in this, she's just supportive wife. And lame. I really, like, you could use her character, her relationship with Anakin so much more than they do. Very lame.
And also, like, her performance in 1 and 2, I think, is better. Like, I think her line delivery is better.
I think it's just,
I'm thinking through it.
I'm just really thinking I don't know.
He must have just been like, no, we're going to dial you back a little bit. Or I don't know. Because, like, I'm thinking about 1 and 2, and I'm like, she has so many good lines, and she plays, like, her role very well and very strong. And in this one, it feels very less strong. That is interesting.
I don't know why.
I hate to pick this apart, but
I know, but that's a genuine complaint I have. Is Padme should be way more prominent. She's a she's a great character, and could very much be. Could you imagine if they were having this, like, huge conflict throughout the whole movie, and they weren't seeing eye to eye?
Yeah,
and she was like, Anakin, listen to Obi-Wan, listen to the council. He's like, no, he's my friend, and like, no, I can't spy. He's like, this is what he's doing is wrong. No, I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
And to do that, but and have his home life just not be like, he can't go home and he can't be with the Jedi, and like give him that only option.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said I really feel like Padme could have saved him, because it seems like she had his ear.
Yeah.
But she never does anything. So
it would make that line where she says, and this is how liberty dies, and thunder's applause. Because like it would make it make more sense.
Exactly.
Because when I get to that moment, I'm kind of like, well, yeah. So you disagree? Because like you haven't really expressed it up to this point.
She
like,
expressed it to Anakin there, but I'm like throughout. Like,
yeah, so it's kind of like you're just here, like you kind of just watched it happen, though.
Right.
So what did you expect? I think it would just add more weight to that line.
Yeah.
Because by the time we get there, I was just kind of like, yeah, of course.
Because they completely disagree politically.
Yeah.
But they don't explore it at all.
No.
So I really feel like they could have done something there with that.
Yeah.
I have another thing. Clone Wars really helps this movie out.
Really? Tell me why you think that.
It makes the Clone Wars makes the we're not going to grant. Ugh, gosh, I can't talk. Clone Wars makes the we are not going to grant you the rank of master whole scene just drastically better. He doesn't come across like whiny or whatever, like he does just in the context of this movie. What do you mean? This is ridiculous. This isn't fair. From just the movie's perspective, we're like, what do you freaking mean, dude? But in the Clone Wars, we're like, this is a decorated war hero that saved that guy's butt, that saved that guy's butt, that saved that guy's butt multiple times. Ki-Adi-Mundi, Yoda, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan several times, Kit Fisto, all of them know the accolades of Anakin Skywalker and how great of a general, how strong of a Jedi he is. So for that to be the pinnacle and have all of his accolades across all of Clone Wars come to that moment and then be like, no. And he'd be like, what do you mean? That he doesn't come across whiny anymore. It comes across as, what do you mean? I have more than proven myself. Yeah. I have more than shown you that I am capable of this. I am stronger than all of you. Yeah. Like, to me,
that's a great point.
It makes that so much better. To where he doesn't come across whiny in like, what do you mean? This is not fair. This is insulting. You know, and for Obi-Wan to then be like, take a breath. Yeah. They're gonna make you, it's this move.
They're not yet because they don't trust the Chancellor. Right. Like, that's why. Just be patient.
Exactly. Clone Wars really helps that specifically out a lot, I think.
I think Clone Wars hurts other aspects though a lot.
Go for it.
I think in this movie, we don't ever really sit a lot with clone troopers, other Jedi that much. But specifically, I was like, one clone trooper that I thought of was like Commander Cody, right? He's so cool in the Clone Wars because you've got Cody, you've got Rex. And in this one, it's so quick the turn that if you're watching Clone Wars and you love Cody, for him to just turn this quickly, it feels a little unsatisfying. But that's just because... Why do you wince at that?
Because he's got a chip in his head that makes him like, I don't know, like he doesn't have a choice.
But you spend so much time with Cody over the Clone Wars with Obi-Wan that you almost wish there would have been something there between them more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's
all I'm saying.
That's different,
I get the chip.
That's so different, in my opinion.
It's a minor thing. It's not. It's very different to the movie. It hurts when I watched this and I was specifically Cody, I was like, there's so much history there. I just wish there was something more between them rather than him just quickly turning and shooting Obi-Wan. Does that make sense? Just because you spent a lot of time with them. How does that not make sense? You spent all of Clone Wars with Cody being like Obi-Wan's guy, just like Rex is Anakin's guy.
You don't think the lines like, I'll try not kill all the battle droids before you get there? Like, line doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it does.
That they have history, and you drop this, like, thanks, Cody. Like, that, in my opinion, also, as simple as Cody taking his helmet off when he talks to Obi-Wan, I think signify that plot fine.
Absolutely.
But that's just different. Like, they're obviously different, but that doesn't...
I'm not saying they're on the same level.
No, but I'm just saying, I think that's a...
There's moments that I felt like that. And I also felt like, everybody says this, but, like... when Mace Windu and Kit Fisto and like all of them attack Palpatine. They die so quickly. We've been saying that for years. But after watching Clone Wars and seeing so much cool stuff from Kit Fisto, it makes that scene like, that sucks.
Or you could look at it like that's how great Sidious, how powerful Sidious is. But
I don't think you can say that because of like the way the choreography is.
No, sure.
I think if there was something more, it would show it. Yeah. He goes, oh, and dies.
In concept, like
yes, absolutely. I get that 100%. But that was another moment where I was like, Clone Wars does this. Like, Kit Fisto's so cool. I wish it would have just been better there. Again, it's previous, so it's like it's hard to.
If I really think it's too much that Anakin cuts Mace's hand off. I think he 100% should have just blocked Mace, and then Palpatine hit him with lightning off the. And then been sold Anakin up to like you just as much killed him as I did. Mm-hmm. I think that is better than him just cutting Mace's hand off. I don't think he would do that. Like because at that point you could still be like, I'm gonna block what you're doing because what you're doing is wrong. It's just this conversation of. Anakin is right. He should be put on trial. It's not the Jedi way to kill kill Sidious at that point. Mace is going to do it anyways. He fails Anakin in this way. But as soon as Anakin cuts his arm off, Anakin's no longer right. Right? So
I think it just shows the turn though.
Sure, but I think you could do the turn in the realization of what just happened.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to give a crap that Anakin blocked Mace and then Sidious shoved him off the roof. No one's going to care. They're going to look at Anakin and be like, you killed Mace. Everybody.
Yes, but in Anakin's mind in that moment, if he just blocked Mace and then Palpatine hits him, he didn't necessarily do anything wrong. When he cuts his arm off, I think that's his moment of like, oh, there's no turning back.
To me, it's the same thing. I think they're the same.
I think if he blocks him, it leaves room for Anakin to second guess himself.
Right,
but when he cuts the arm off, it doesn't leave room for that. He's like, it's too late.
We both agree it's too fast.
Yes.
So I think you could progress it into that.
Yeah.
More. So I think if he blocked it, or even be really freaking cool, if Anakin pulled his lightsaber out, went for the block, and Sidious moved his lightsaber down and had him cut Mace's hands off.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
That'd be sick.
Manipulate him, yeah. Dang,
I would love that.
Yeah, I would love that.
That'd be so dope.
Deeper into his manipulation of Anakin, that's crazy. Yeah. George, why didn't you think of that? I just feel like if he blocks him, just in that scene specifically, if he blocks him, I'm not talking about building it up and kind of lengthening it out a little bit. If he blocks him rather than cutting his arm off, it leaves Anakin room to say, no, you killed him. I didn't. I was just trying to protect. I
don't think he would do that.
But I'm not saying he would. I'm saying it leaves room for him to do that.
No, right.
Whereas cutting the hand off does not. He's like, it's too far gone. I've killed him.
To me, for it to be, I cut his hand off, I guess I got to go slaughter a bunch of kids now. That doesn't. To me, it's more interesting for him to block Mace. And then,
but I don't think he would have gone. I wouldn't have gotten on his knees and go, "What have I done?"
Yes, he would.
I don't think he would have.
If Sidious then killed Mace at that moment,
yes,
he would have been like, he would have been like, no. If he had, let's put it like this.
I just don't think he hits the same.
He blocked Mace, and then Sidious kills Mace. He would be like, "What did you do?" He said,
"Yes, that's different."
No, but listen,
not what have I done?
Right, listen. Let me speak. Listen to me.
Get it out.
Then Sidious goes, well, why did you block it in the first place?
I think that still
because
leaves room.
You know you need me.
Yeah.
You know that you need me. You've already chosen. Think about the freaking. He's manipulating this guy this whole life. Think about this. You chose me. You've chosen me. Your will, you've chosen me. You've chosen this. Because if you hadn't, even though this isn't true, but this speaks more to the manipulation of Sidious. To manipulate Anakin into being like, you've already chosen, even though he didn't. I think that's more interesting. I just do. I think that serves Anakin better as a character to not flip as hard and be like, no, you've chosen this. This is what you want, clearly. This was instinct. You just acted on instinct and you chose. Embrace it. I think is more interesting than be like, in this moment, Cap and Mace. Yeah. What was going to happen? Because Sidious is selling himself like he can't defend himself.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He wasn't going to let Mace just kill him right there. I don't think so.
That's tricky because, like, they pit it as he is kind of, like, trying to bring him in, but they also don't really show enough, I feel like, for him to, like, retaliate. Like, it still looks like he is in a vulnerable enough position to where Mace could kill him.
Maybe, we don't know. But I'm just saying, if context, like, from Anakin's perspective, what was going to happen after cutting Mace's arms off? So at that point, it's like, I could see a world where Anakin would be like, well, if I block him, I'm still doing the right thing. Because then George pits Anakin as still thinking he's doing the right thing the whole time.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, it's, well, no, blocking Mace. You saved me. You made a choice. To me, is more interesting than him just cutting his arms off and being like, what did I just do? That I'm like, well, what do you mean? You could have blocked him. There's a lot of things you could have done.
Yeah.
I think could be more interesting. I'm sure people have had this conversation before.
Sure, yeah.
But I do think I think it'd just be more heart-wrenching if you'd be like, but no, Anakin hadn't done anything wrong.
It would, yeah, I think you're right.
But he manipulated him into thinking like he's been doing this whole time.
Yeah.
Because, I think
if the writing serves it that way, it would hit a lot harder. But I think in context of just that scene specifically, I don't know if it would have worked as well.
Well, I mean, the whole point we're saying, obviously you have to change things.
You have to, yeah.
So, I mean, there's no point in saying, well, if you just switch those things out, it would work the same.
Well, it's just
actually,
it's a conversation.
I do feel like that.
It's a conversation of what we got and, like, adjusting it. But, yeah, you're right. We're talking about if we changed it. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think it could. I like the idea of him blocking it.
Could you imagine
if some conflict
if
there?
he got to hide behind that the whole time? Oh no, I stopped Mace Windu. Like I blocked. Like you know what I mean? Like I gave him the option, and he chose to betray the Jedi. Like he chose to abandon the Jedi way. It's just like that.
I think it leaves more gray than what George was going for.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I think
they wanted Anakin to fully, like, that's the point where he made the choice. It's done.
Yeah.
And rather than leaving that little bit of room, that little gray in there of him blocking it, because that's not what Vader is. Like Vader is it is the full tilt of Anakin. So that's why I would say maybe it would leave too much room for doubt in his mind, and the point is not necessarily to give him the out.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that. We just off before we started. We're saying like they really. His turn's a little too fast, and I wish they had drawn that out a little bit more. So if they started with that, and then progressed that into going and killing the Separatists, and then progressed that into somehow like making it make sense in his head that he needs to do this and he needs to do this and he needs to do this. The ultimate
is to
and
slaughter the remaining Jedi.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that would be cool because there could be a scene where, like this. Killing the Separatists is easy. They do that regularly. Right,
anyway. That's fine.
That's fine. But for him to complete the mission, come back to Palpatine, and Palpatine says, "I have something like this is the final moment for you to fully embrace your power to save Padme." And there be a moment of Anakin's hesitation, almost like okay, master, and then to step into the temple. And it would make the scene where it cuts to him and he has a single tear. It would make that hit more.
Well, and also
because it would show you like, yes, he's turned, but he's still at war with himself over it. Like
and the my new powers.
Yes,
I could save you with my new powers line. I think
because I've completed it.
I've done what I have to do.
Yes, now I have the abilities to save you. Yeah, I think that is a little more interesting. I mean, I think
It's just too
how they
it's
do
just
it.
too fast.
Yeah, how they do it in this is fine because of the moment, like in Mustafar. But it is very fast. I mean,
I think starting
quickly.
Anakin. I think starting Anakin as a 9-year-old, like being a 9-year-old in Episode 1, the way they do is just not it for what they were trying to do. There's also they are able to sense Jedi as infants all over the galaxy, man, and no one picked up on Anakin.
yeah,
No one
especially
picked up on the chosen one with the highest midichlorian count.
Yeah.
Like that just doesn't.
Well, I guess. Well,
That doesn't make sense.
I don't know what their radar is on that.
But they do it all the time, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. Unless the point is, it's in such an outer rim planet. You know what I mean? Nobody goes to Tatooine, so maybe that could be part of it. Because there are moments throughout Star Wars where
Sure.
they're so far out that they're. That's just me thinking through maybe why. Maybe that's why.
That's not that's not a bad explanation, but I would need some sort of how did
To be fair,
miss this
Qui-Gon
kid
does pick up on it.
when he's there? But
And that's to my point
Right.
though. Is it's such an outer rim planet that when Qui-Gon does show up, meets the boy, he senses it because he's there.
No, yeah, I mean,
Versus,
right?
if another Jedi showed up, he would probably sense it too. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe.
But I think to the point of him being young is hard.
Being able to sense
Yeah.
what hundreds of babies across the galaxy and
Yeah.
enough for Jedi
Like wouldn't Yoda be able to?
Who picked up Ahsoka? Plo Koon.
Plo Koon, yeah.
Plo Koon was able to sense as an infant Ahsoka, and then there's the Jedi crystal heist in season 2 where Cad Bane goes and starts taking the Force sensitive children off a list that they already have compiled.
Yeah.
And in that they said the lines, but when Cad Bane shows up impersonating Jedi, the mom says, but Master Plo Koon said, or whoever said that it wasn't like there would be more time before they came and took it, meaning they already sensed them and they've already approached.
Yeah.
So if you have the ability to do that, maybe Tatooine's such an outer rim planet, but also they found Tatooine on the way from Naboo to Coruscant. So
They pretty clearly say Tatooine's an outer rim
I
planet.
know,
though, right?
but it's on the way to Coruscant,
Yeah.
so it's closer than Naboo.
As they're flying
and that
by.
scene,
Interesting.
and they kidnap a child on Naboo.
Yeah.
So, they tried to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they do, yeah. That's funny. See, that's why Clone Wars hurts this movie.
no,
I'm kidding.
it might. I don't know. I think it helps Anakin out a lot, given the context.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about it that way. I think that's a great point. The points I was making is just like minor character moments because these characters are in Clone Wars. That's all.
To me, it's cool in just the retrospective. Like, here's like a minor character that they made awesome. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Because I remember, like, specifically going back to the Kit Fisto scene. Like, I remember them all being Jedi Masters and seeing that for the first time and being like, that guy's cool. Like, he's got a green lightsaber. Like, and then seeing in Clone Wars and like Kit Fisto doing like having some really sick episodes, I'm like, this makes these characters so much better. Yeah. So I remember experiencing that as a kid and being like, this is sick. I love Clone Wars.
I've seen some people complain about as many Jedi surviving. Like, it's kind of dumb how easily the clones killed the Jedi. Dumb because it's like fighting 5 Boba Fett's. Like,
like you can only
so
there's a limit
Boba
to how
Fett
many
kills,
you can.
Jango Fett kills Jedi. Boba Fett. Everyone believes Boba Fett could kill a Jedi.
Yeah.
So if there's 5 of them, like,
and they're all firing automatic blasters,
I mean they would definitely be able to kill Jedi.
Yeah.
Pretty easily in sweep.
The only one that's a little weird is Ayla Secura on.
That one's bad.
It's not good. She just doesn't even sense it because Yoda does.
Yeah.
Kiamandui kind of. I mean, he's not necessarily sensing it. He's
Yeah,
stopping and turning around to like call them to like let's go. But in the moment, you kind of see like he does, and Ayla just gets shot in the back and doesn't just it just gets laid out, and I'm like, that's so lame, especially because she's cool in Clone Wars. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I think that is kind of a moot point. Because in every one of those scenes, there's multiple of them, so one Jedi can only do so much.
But it's awesome. I was reminded of all the great times growing up.
Oh yeah, Grievous fight with Obi-Wan. Oh, I wish we had more of it. The Mustafar scene is so fun. It's so great. I will say, like, I still get emotional when Obi-Wan is looking at him. Like I was like on the verge of tears, especially seeing it in theaters, and it just shows me that like Ewan McGregor just acted his butt off in that scene.
Yeah, it makes Kenobi suck.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it does.
This movie,
I know what I was going to say.
Makes Kenobi terrible.
I know what I was going to say, and I didn't notice it until Obi-Wan came out. Really. But Yoda clearly, when he's talking to Obi-Wan about, I have training for you, communing with Qui-Gon Jinn. Because it never went anywhere, I didn't ever really think about it that much. And I don't know if I'm trying to think if I watched this since Obi-Wan. But that just pisses me off so much.
I know.
Oh my, I was so ticked. I was like, they set that up so beautifully for him. And Obi-Wan just absolutely takes a dump on it. And that just pisses me off. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith makes Obi-Wan worse. That's a shame.
You ready to move on?
Yeah, that was a fun time, dude. I'm so glad we saw it.
Yeah,
I'm glad they brought it
everyone
back.
Should go see
everyone
it.
should go see it. It's such an iconic moment for Star Wars fans. Sure. I mean, it's my favorite franchise of all time, and still stands to be that. So,
do you want
seeing this is just it's such a good feeling.
Yeah. You want to ask your magic one? You do our Q and take.
Let's do some
segment.
Q and takes. Yeah. So here is. I was thinking about this week, kind of leading up to this, and I have something in my head to answer this question. But I wanted to ask you, if you had a magic wand, you were controlling Disney, you were the new Kathleen Kennedy, and you could make any Star Wars movie, any characters, any time period, what would you make?
Yeah, I have a very thought out answer here.
I'm excited to hear.
I would like to see some old or gray Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
So I had this thought that I thought would be cool, is to
what time period are we in?
Like way in front of Phantom Menace. Like we're not
Old Republic.
Nothing. Oh, maybe. Sure, let's give it that.
That's fine.
I don't want to say Old Republic because
Yeah.
there's an established thing there, so I don't want to like say things and people be like, "Well, that contradicts X, Y, and Z."
Just pre
Skywalker Saga, way out in the future. I think it would be very cool to do a gray Jedi thing.
Oh, I love that.
And do like set up this one. So this is. I had this thought, and it's something that they did in Old Republic, but I'm just going to pitch it anyways. Mm-hmm. I think it would be cool to have a Jedi, basically a Sith master and apprentice, or Sith army and Jedi come to a head, and there be one Jedi left that has to basically tap into the dark side and becomes like a gray Jedi to defeat the Sith. They're just all wiped out. And he's afraid that if he comes back and becomes a Jedi, there won't be any balance. So, and he's afraid to be a Sith because there won't be balance. So he decides to remain a gray Jedi and be like teetering on the scales. He has two sons. He raises them both to be gray Jedi. And he's like, I'm going to start this gray Jedi order. I think it would be very cool.
With like an emphasis on balance.
Yeah. With
not
balance.
one way or the other.
Right.
We have to have a... Oh, dude, I've thought about this so much. I love it.
And be balanced where the light and the dark.
Yeah.
This is the problem. This is the issue.
Too much of one is bad. Too much of the other is bad.
This is the entire issue. This is a never-ending back and forth that'll just never stop. So we're stopping in here. We're a gray Jedi. Balance.
Yeah.
So he has two sons. He raises two sons. In my head, they're twins. But I don't want to say that because there's an Old Republic thing that's similar to that.
Yeah.
So, two brothers. One definitely has an anger problem.
Yeah.
And they do balance. They do their thing. They do exactly what they set out to do.
Yeah.
But there's this anger. Like, he's got this, like, anger, jealous issue. That
it's like
he's
a Cain and Abel.
Right, but it's because it's balance. And his father's just preaching this, like, nomad monk balance thing that he never, like, he just sits. He's like, no, you got to balance it out. They don't address it. Like, he's just angry all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes to they basically what ends up happening is this son who's angry starts becoming a dark side, and because they need to balance it out, he becomes a Jedi. So he becomes a Sith and he becomes a Jedi.
They balance each other.
So because he starts dipping in, he starts becoming a Jedi, and this father who's, I'm about balance, whatever have you, this guy, the Sith brother, would then kill the father. This brother would be so distraught that they would switch places.
Oh.
So then, this is like over a trilogy. So then, this brother kills the father distraught. He's like, if I kill my father, this will solve my problem.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Creates some tension there, or be an act of anger. And then be so mortified by that decision.
He just,
But this brother
is so
born
furious.
in hatred over it. They
wants to kill him.
Passing ships. And then he starts the Sith, and they start the Jedi over again. It's just being this endless cycle that never stops.
Yeah.
That keeps repeating.
That's
I think something like that would be
so
cool. I don't know. I've sat with that for years and have played with that idea for so long.
Yeah.
And I think it would be neat to like start the story with the Jedi and Sith ending, and then end the trilogy arc with it starting again.
Yeah. Where if this isn't a trilogy of movies, where would you put the father dying, the portrayal of that?
In the middle.
Like just dead center in the middle. Yeah. So like in the second one, and then the third film it's switched in the second movie, and then the third film is like the conclusion of their arc.
They're still battling it out. They're going at it. They have a lot of, but I think it'd be very cool. And
I think you could do it in one movie too.
Sure.
I think you could really make it work in one.
No, absolutely. I was just thinking, is like, if I really got to do this, you would do Senate and how he's leading.
Yes, yeah.
He's
some other conflict
he's basically
too.
the emperor, but balanced.
Yes.
And he's basically, the brothers are going out, they're fighting wars, they're doing balance, equal, training the brothers up. I would just like to sit with them for enough long of a time.
Yeah.
And really like be very attached to both of them.
Yeah.
And then come to that second movie and then really start playing on the dark side stuff at the end of the first movie with this brother. Yeah. Have this, we're unbalanced, have some stuff going on there, have him be passing shifts in the third movie. I think would be cool. Like, I feel like because I've taken that from Joker, where it's like the victim's not the victim. Yeah. And, like the Gotham Joker thing. So they kind of swap at some point. Yeah. I think that's cool and just an interesting way. It's kind of what I wanted them to do a little bit with Rey and Kylo. Yeah. I would like
they were setting it up for that in a way. Kind of. Not fully, but
yeah. So it's a little bit I kind of did. I thought that would be okay. Well, that'd be at least be interesting. They pass ships in the night. So I was like, okay, so
Ben turns, but Rey doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so I think that could be cool, and this, because it's so focused on balance, or maybe the father basically pushes this brother. But what I think is cool is then it's the allegory for the father, son, and daughter.
Yeah.
From the Morgoth, not the Morgoth.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's right.
Is that not Lord of the Rings?
Oh wait. No, you're close. Oh, it's more. Oh, it's something more. Something gods, not Morse. More. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, what is it? It is more something. It's not Morgoth. That's Morris. It is Morris, yeah. Not
Morgoth is Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah. Morris gods, yeah. That's the father, the son, and the daughter. Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be cool.
I've always thought the Grey Jedi stuff. I think about that all the time. I'm like, why have we not done more of this?
They kind of do it with Ahsoka, I think, but not
yes,
really.
Yes, they do.
She's just not a Jedi.
I just like I think it'd be so cool to have someone just so much stressing balance, because everybody talks about balance in the Force, but there's still one side or the other of like, I have studied both. I am the balance. I don't think you should lean in the Jedi. I don't think you should be Sith. I think you should be in the middle. Because like Sidious in this movie, like in Revenge of the Sith, says like, I've studied both sides, but he's evil. So I just, they don't lean into that enough. Yeah, Ahsoka kind of is the Grey Jedi essentially, but she's still a very leaning Jedi.
She's just a Force user.
Yeah, who has just left the Order.
Yeah,
but she's still very good, very light side. So that's sick. I think that's cool. If only we were writing Star Wars movies,
I think it'd even be cool to even do the father as killing Jedi and Sith to create balance.
Oh yeah, and he's
and be like, come to that realization. Yeah, that'd be so
And what would
cool.
be interesting is if like maybe the sons met someone of each order in their own respect and it like piqued their interest. Like the one who's angry, for example, he was sent to kill a Sith, and a Sith has like a line where he says something kind of like Sidious, like your anger is your power, and it kind of piques him. Like, interesting. And like you see the slow descent of both of them.
Oh, that's easy. You could have. I mean, you could have the Jedi moral brother be better than this one. And
yes.
He want to be just as good, and they'd be like, well, you could do this thing.
Yeah. This would give you the power to surpass your brother.
Yeah.
And then he starts dabbling in it. Yeah, that's so sick. Oh, that's so cool.
But I like the idea of like playing with the dark side and then fully embracing that and being so sickened by what you just did that it just turns you.
Yeah.
And then have
this is what my father meant.
Infuriate the other party so much.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. You know what I thought of?
What?
I want a Republic Commandos movie.
Yeah.
Because some of my favorite moments of
Clone Wars
is the clone stuff. And I've always been such a like, Andor is like the grit, people's like, give me like a Clone Wars gritty like war. Like Andor leans into that tone. And I don't know if I want it to be quite like that, but I've always wanted a clone centric, like let's follow a battalion, let's follow like a team. And I think Republic Commandos would be really cool. I think it would be sick if a team was sent to kill. It might be kind of hard to do it this way, but to kill like a Sith Lord or something like that. Or, this is kind of what I was thinking. The Jedi send troops in to a planet, right? There's droids there, there's something there, right? They go through. The clone troopers dig in a little deeper, they go into like a facility, something like that, and they don't come out. And they're like, what in the world? So they send in more troopers. They don't come out. So then they call in the commandos and say, you need to go in and find out why they're not coming out of this facility. And when they go in, they either find like a Sith Lord or they find something like that. And they're like trapped in this facility with the Sith Lord and have to figure out how to kill him. How do I kill him? Because he's powerful. We don't know who he is. We don't know. I just think there's a cool scene of them like in this facility, and then you see the lightsaber light and you're like, oh, that's what's killing all these troopers. That's crazy. And I think that could be like, really interesting. I think it could be fun because there's some cool games and some cool stories around some of that stuff. But that's what I've always wanted to see. I think that'd be fun.
I got a question for you.
All right.
I like that idea. I like the Commandos.
I played the Republic Commandos game, and I just thought, this is so cool. And there's some good books too.
This is a versus.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Who wins in a fight? Toph versus Matt Murdock.
Toph.
Avatar.
Oh. What a wild pairing.
They're both blind.
True. I think it's Matt Murdock, right?
Really? That easy?
I mean, I know they're both like like Toph probably holds he stands a chance, but like I think just because of Matt's abilities, like he could probably.
How? You're gonna have to describe it. How?
Like, I just feel like because Matt can technically see, wouldn't he have the advantage against him?
Toph can see too.
Yeah, but like,
Do you know Toph is a girl?
Wait, what?
Do you
I'm
know
thinking of
Toph is a
someone else.
girl? Who's an earthbender?
Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of an old man.
Boomy? No?
I'm thinking of Boomy.
All right, well, maybe we're going to piss off a lot of Avatar people.
Why am I thinking of an
Toph
old
is the
man?
blind little girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dang. I don't know why I was thinking of an old man. He's not blind. I don't know if I know enough about Toph then to really say on that.
Earthbending. Can earthbending beat Matt Murdock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Earthbending could beat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she can send, yeah, I think Earthbending would beat him then. I mean, he'd probably, like, hold his own for a little bit.
I don't think so.
Like, I mean, I think he would be able to, like, sense things coming in and hold his own, but I think eventually he would get overwhelmed very quickly.
I don't know what he would do if Toph just separated the earth. Like,
That's a good point. He's
also,
going to use his senses and jump up.
there's no reason Toph couldn't beat anybody on any human being
Yeah.
ever. Because I just learned about this, but we have inner ear crystals that float in our ear.
Oh, yeah.
In our
Yeah.
ears that just basically help us perceive motion.
Mm-hmm.
So they get dislodged, and so you don't know if you're moving or not. It happens
that's
to real
wild.
people.
Oh
There's
my
like
gosh.
instant vertigo. Toph, earthbenders can move crystals.
Oh,
So
yes.
earthbenders should literally just be able to move the crystals out of the people's
And you
like
just be
ears,
like-
and then no one could walk. Like no one would be able to be like stand upright.
Funny.
Random thought I was thinking
hilarious.
about, but yeah.
funny.
We have a question.
Yeah. So Christian, our friend of the podcast, posed in the Discord actually,
Yes.
threw up a question that we've had for a little while, but we did want to talk about it. So his question essentially was kind of in the vein of the Moon Knight show. Not like a long form Netflix, but just kind of like a one season, kind of a shorter season show. What character from the MCU or just Marvel Universe would we like to see in that kind of format? With that kind of length of time, style of show. What do you think you would like to see?
Yeah. So I have been wanting this for so long. I
Yeah.
want a limited Ghost Rider series so
Yeah.
bad.
That's a good pick.
So bad. He doesn't need his own movie.
Yeah.
No, just do the show. Do the entire thing.
Do like 6
and
episodes.
Either do
yeah.
Norman Reedus or do Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
as either of those two.
think Keanu
My
would be-
other pick is Austin Butler. If you wanted to go a younger way.
Oh, that's a great pick.
Yeah, Austin Butler for Ghost Rider would be sick.
I think Austin Butler to play Ghost Rider in the MCU
Yeah,
going forward. I think that'd be sick.
right.
Like, I think you
Those
could-
are just two
wow.
actors who are very prominent motorcycle riders.
Yeah.
Who I do think could be, depending on where they take it, could be washed up Daredevil type characters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Austin Butler would be cool.
That would be
That's
sick.
my other young
could do
pick.
that.
So Austin Butler would be my
Ghost Rider pick.
Ghost Rider pick. But depending on how you want to do it. But either of those three people, I'd be extremely satisfied. And then, a Ghost Rider limited series.
I think that'd be sick. You know, the one that I was kind of thinking of a lot recently because they've like quote unquote canceled Blade is do a Blade limited series. New actor and do 6 episodes rather than a movie.
Yeah, can I get you so hype right now?
Yeah.
Do Blade, directed by Ryan Coogler with Michael B. Jordan.
Yes. Yes. Dude, Michael B. Jordan as Blade
would be sick.
Would be so sick. Oh my gosh.
Even though he's Killmonger, we're doing another universe. We don't freaking care.
Alternate timeline.
Could you imagine how sick it would be if if Killmonger's mom was a vampire?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was like an alternate thing, and so he was like part Wakandan and then part vampire, and he was Blade.
That's
That'd be
crazy.
so dope.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler
Directing Blade would be insane.
Blade with Michael B. Jordan be dope.
Oh, that'd be so sick. Oh, please let that happen.
That'd be so.
Oh
dope.
my gosh. Oh, that's so
That'd
cool.
be awesome.
I just thought if we're not gonna do a movie, let's just do a series. Let's cast a new actor. Let's do that. Because I do really think it would be cool to see like something Midnight Suns, like a Midnight Suns project. Like you could do it in kind of like the Defender style, like do a season of the Midnight Suns, bring in Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight, find a Blade. I think that'd be sick. Do your Ghost Rider. And I think it would be fun to eventually see like a Midnight Suns like project or something like that. But I think Blade would work in that format, kind of like a Moon Knight, rather than having to force it into the movie, force it into the MCU. Like overall, just do a limited Blade series, do it well. I think it'd be sick.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought about that today. We were thinking about Blade, and I was like, oh, Vampire, Ryan Coogler,
so
Michael B. Jordan, Blade. Oh,
dude, he would
so
crush
cool.
that.
Oh
my god,
he would crush it.
Why would they not think of him?
Because Ryan Coogler wanted him for Panther.
Yeah, no, I mean like when they were doing Blade stuff. Did they ever talk about Ryan doing Blade?
That's
with
more
Marshall Ali.
It's more of a conversation now because of Sinners, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking in general, because he has done Black Panther so well, like I could see why he could do a Blade really well too.
Sure.
I mean, he could do any of those movies well, but I was just wondering why maybe they didn't think of him.
Maybe because
maybe they did.
Wakanda. This was like around
He was doing
Wakanda forever.
Good point. Good point. He was already doing other projects. Yeah.
But yeah.
You're right. It is more relevant because of Sinners now, though. That's so fun.
Okay.
You had a question?
I do have
Or
one
something?
more to finish us off here.
I've got one more too. I would quickly.
Yeah. We've had two movies that have two very awesome music scenes that we've seen. And I'm going to give you I hate to just pick one from Sinners, but there is one song like on social media from Sinners that is obviously getting a lot more like treatment, a lot more posted. So I'm gonna pick that one, even though yes, I agree the one shots are better.
Yes, yeah.
What do you think is gonna be a bigger deal at the end of the year? Warfare, Call on Me,
I knew you were
or
gonna
Rocky Road to Dublin and Sinners.
Oh my god,
they're both excellent, and they both had huge cultural impact.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Oh my.
So gosh. I have my pick just from nostalgia, but they're both great. They're both really cool
and talked about specifically.
Yes.
That scene, that moment, or that song, like blew up on social media. Like everybody saying, like, "Call on Me" is the song of the summer.
Yeah.
It's like, is it now still? Like, I don't know. Oh my gosh, that's such a tough one.
Rocky Road to Dublin is literally the song of summer because it takes place in May.
Oh man, I think we'll
in
probably
the merry month of May.
I think we'll remember Rocky Road.
You think so?
I think so.
Maybe going forward.
I think because Sinners is gonna be a more relevant conversation longer than Warfare. I think now that Sinners is out, people aren't talking about Warfare anymore.
I have my pick. Mine's Rocky Road to Dublin, just because of nostalgia. That was way cooler to hear Rocky Road to Dublin, just because I learned it 7 years ago and have retained it and remembered it and performed it at pubs and things like that randomly. So to me, that's Rocky Road to Dublin. But my argument here is they re-recorded Rocky Road to Dublin for Sinners.
Yeah.
So they did it with Jack O'Connell and a lot of the cast made the full song.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen in Warfare.
Point, yeah.
So that's why I think it'll be a little bit more of a bigger deal, but the Warfare scene's still really great.
Still incredible.
So it's tough. I was thinking about that the other day.
That's
I was like,
funny.
Literally back-to-back movies have had two great
culturally
relevant, impactful music moments.
That's funny. I think just because Sinners is going to have probably more love, like if it gets Oscar love, people are going to be thinking about that more.
I do not want them to play Rocky Road to Dublin at the
Oscars. Please no.
Let Miles Catton please perform at the Oscars.
Yeah, I think they should. Oh, that's a great one.
What's your other?
Okay, so I was thinking about this after I was thinking about Revenge of the Sith. You know what I think Disney should do? Mm-hmm. I think they should do a Star Wars special presentation like they have for the MCU.
Yeah.
a 1 hour long episode thing. And the reason I've been thinking about that is think of all the amazing Clone War episodes that they could do in live action. That would be sick. Like the one that I thought of was the episode in Clone Wars where Kit Fisto is tracking down Grievous and he finds his and it's
Grievous's lair.
Grievous's lair, yeah. Like you could lean into some of the like horror elements and make it it still feels Star Wars, but like lean into that. That would be such a sick like 45-minute to hour-long special presentation. And they have so much material that they could do those from. And I just thought that would be a cool idea to do. Because Werewolf by Night was super cool. We're getting a Punisher special presentation. Like, I think they could do it. And I think it would be sick. And you wouldn't have to worry about trying to pull it all into the overall universe. Just do an interesting story. Just do something cool. Kind of like Werewolf by Night. Now, that may play into something later. I don't know. But it's kind of really not relevant. It's just its own little thing. So I think they could do it.
Let's do the Thunderbolts list real quick. I like that idea a lot. But let's knock that out because that's a Thunderbolts thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to do basically we're going to go through our list movies we've seen this year.
So far.
And basically you're going to let me know when the movie that will be in your prediction Thunderbolts. That will
Thunderbolt beat this movie?
Right, yeah.
Thunderbolt's coming out next week?
Yes.
Woo! Can't wait.
So let me do...
Oh, man, I think this is going to...
I'm going to add Revenge of the Sith real quick into this list because technically we watched it.
But it's not a new release.
But it was a re-release. It came out this year. Movies we watched in 2025.
When I do my list, I don't do that.
I'm not talking about anything rewatch, but it had a re-release in theaters.
Yeah, when I do my rank for 2025, though, Revenge of the Sith won't be
There's
on.
an extra scene in this movie.
Really?
Yeah. With Hayden Christensen at the beginning.
I was like, they added what? Yeah, I won't add it into my rank for the year, but technically we did see it, yes. Technically.
All right, then that's an easy way to start.
Does it beat
Will
Revenge
it
of the
beat
Sith?
Revenge of the Sith?
No.
What? I need to move. I was like easily, you would hope. It's not going to have the rose-colored glasses Revenge of the Sith has. I want you to think, let's think compositionally.
Okay. Compositionally, very much so could.
Okay.
It could be a whole lot more cohesive. I think it is going to be more cohesive.
This is not the bottom of my list. I just added it. So, because the next one's Snow White. Snow White was not better than Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith.
I think it'll be compositionally better, but I don't...
No, it will not get looked back on as favorably. Absolutely, I'm with you.
I won't put it up there.
But we hope compositionally it's a better movie than Revenge of the Sith.
I hope so. I hope it beats Revenge of the Sith overall.
That'd be sick.
Maybe it's in my top 10 for all time.
Snow White.
Yeah, it's going to be better than that.
Better be better than Snow White.
I think it's bare bones. Just like you could just phone this in and it could be better.
Yeah. Captain America: Brave New World.
Absolutely.
Easily
better.
Yes. The trailers are
already better and show more cohesion than what Captain America ended up being.
Mickey 17.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. I think I think this is going to be more cohesive. I think it's going to be a better movie. I think there's going to be better moments. I think there's going to be better action, better overall. Yeah.
A Minecraft movie.
Yes, I think this is going to be a better movie than a Minecraft
movie. Drop is something I watched.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what you thought about it.
I liked it a lot. It's very good. Very good time. Very just fun, B-grade thriller movie. Yeah. I would, if Thunderbolts is as good as Drop, I would be let down.
Okay.
So I'm going to say better.
Yeah.
Next one is Novocaine. I would hope it's better than
I would hope it is. I think it is going to be better than Novocaine. Novocaine was so fun, but I think this is going to be fun and better.
I think it will be, and it should be.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Black Bag. This is my first no. I'm going to say no. Definitely not better than Black Bag.
So this is where we're getting muddy for level of enjoyment. I think as a movie, I don't think they can write this movie better than Black Bag. Sure. But I might have it higher because I enjoy it more.
I really enjoyed Black Bag, so it's hard for me to think Thunderbolts will be that way.
I
We
think
gave Black Bag a 9 out of 10.
yeah.
So you're basically saying Thunderbolts. I mean, I guess not, but could Thunderbolts? You think Thunderbolts will be a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10?
I think it could be a 9 out of 10 for me.
Wow, that's sick.
Just
Cool.
because like I'm really digging the vibe of it.
Absolutely.
Like Captain America Brave New World to me was just another MCU movie.
Sure.
This feels different enough that I'm going in, I'm trying not to go too high on my expectations, but because I'm just digging the tone, I love the characters that we have. Like, I think the chemistry is going to work. I think this could be like up there in my MCU projects if it's delivers. I think it could be one of my favorites, and so that's why I lean towards it could be a 9 out of 10, and I might enjoy it more than Black Bag.
Cool. Warfare, no.
I don't think so.
And In Sinners, no.
Absolutely not.
No,
I
no
don't
way.
think. I don't think it can beat the Warfare experience. I think I may rewatch Thunderbolts more in the future than Warfare, but I don't think it can beat Warfare, and it absolutely will not touch Sinners. I don't know if there's a movie this year that will touch Sinners in the future. Yeah. I hope maybe. I'm open to being surprised there, but yeah. So I think it's gonna sit around like the 3-4 spot probably.
Yeah. So 3-4. I like that. That's our prediction. We should do that every time.
Yeah. New movie.
Yeah.
Where did we think the Minecraft movie was going to fall?
Exactly where it did.
Absolutely.
Better. It felt better than I thought.
That's true, yeah.
It's in my... well, I guess that's not great. I mean, it's in my 7 spot for the year, but...
It's in your top 10.
It is in the top 10.
It won't stay there
But
forever.
like, Mickey 17 was so much more disappointing than the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
It's Brave
For
New
very
World.
different reasons, yeah.
But yeah.
Thunderbolts next week, though.
Yes, Thunderbolts next week.
I'm so pumped.
Yep.
I am so pumped for it. I genuinely do think I'm going to really like this one. I've been trying to stay away from kind of what people are thinking and saying about it. It's been kind of hard, but I've seen a couple little things, and I'm still excited for it.
I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Next
Excited
week.
for next week.
Sweet.
All right.
We saw Star Wars again. Let's go. We should have got lightsabers for this. We should have started with lighting up our lightsabers.
That would have been cool. We could have done that.
Oh, that's right. You do have one.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
But yeah. All right.
Sweet.
Well, y'all enjoy. Hopefully this comes out Monday.
Yeah. Have a good week. We'll be talking Thunderbolts this week, so be looking for that. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Follow us. We would love the support. We've already loved the support. Our TikTok is growing.
Yeah,
like 1,300,
awesome.
which is super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Other things are growing too, which is really fun too. But
yeah.
I'm excited.
Sweet.
Sweet. That's a wrap, baby.